Hello, 7th graders. Your video for tomorrow is covering section 2.4 out of the book, which is exploring two-step equations. So the very first thing that we're going to do is, just like this example that I have typed here, we're going to define a variable and write an algebraic expression for a man is 2 years younger than 3 times his son's age. Define a variable. That means I need to tell what the variable means. So I'm going to use, since we're talking about his son's age, I'm going to use an S. So to define it, I'm going to say that S equals the son's age. Okay, that's defining a variable. You're telling me what the variable means. And write an algebraic expression. Okay, so remember, an expression does not have an equal sign in it. So a man is 2 years younger than 3 times his son's age. So 3 times his son's age, which I said was going to be S, 3 times his son's age, and it says 2 years younger. So I'd have to minus 2. So this would be my answer. So now we're going to continue on with this same example, but now we're going to evaluate that expression that we just made, the 3s minus 2. We're going to evaluate it to find the man's age if his son is 13. So evaluate it. So I'm going to substitute my 13 in. So 3 times 13 minus 2. Order of operations, I have to multiply first. So 3 times 13 is 39. 39 minus 2 is 37 years old. Remember, we always have to label stuff. So he'd be 37 if that was the expression we could use to find his age. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at this two-step equation, and we're going to try to solve it using number sense. So using things that we know to try to find the answer without actually using the steps involved. So here's how we're going to do it. First of all, to use number sense, you should cover up the 4b. Pretend that it's not there. Okay? So we're just going to pretend that that's not there. So what would I have to add to 5 to get 17? 12, right? Okay, so that's one way to use number sense to figure out what the 4b has to be, right? So then I'm going to rewrite it. I have 4b plus 5 equals 17. Okay. Well, since we just figured out that 4b had to be 12, right? I can now forget about the 5, and I'm going to make 4b equal to 12 because that was what I just figured out it had to be right here. So 4, I have to think to myself, 4 times what is going to give me 12? Okay, well, 4 times 3 will give me 12, right? 4 times 3 is 12. So then that means that b equals 4. So I can go through and I can check it. So plug it in. Is 4? Oh, I'm sorry, it's 3. I had the answer right here. What times 4 gives you 12? It's 3. I accidentally put the 4. So 3. So 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 plus 5 is 17. So it worked. Okay, that's using number sense to find it. In our next section, we're going to actually go through the real steps that you use, not number sense, because sometimes your equations are going to be too hard to use number sense. So you need to understand how to follow a set of steps. So let's try another one, and we're going to do it using number sense. So 7c minus 20 equals 50. Okay, so again, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just forget about this for right now. Okay, what number minus 20 is going to give you 50? Okay, well, 50, and if you added 20 more, it would give you 70, right? So this 7c has to equal 70, right? So 7c is going to equal 70. We're going to forget about the 20 because we just figured out that this portion right here has to equal 70. So now you want to ask yourself, what times 7 is going to give you 70? Okay, what times 7 gives you 70? Well, that would be 10. 70 divided by 7, right? Gives you 10. So my C is 10, and I could plug it back in to see if it works. Is 7 times 10 minus 20, does that equal 50? 7 times 10 is 70. 70 minus 20 is 50. So yes, it works. So that is using number sense. You're not necessarily writing out all the steps the way that we will, but it is using, kind of like using common sense, breaking it down and using what you know to find what's missing. So bring that knowledge with you, and we're going to go way more in depth tomorrow. Have a good night.